Good evening, guys. Am I audible and visible to all of you? Can I get a quick confirmation on the chat box that I am audible and visible to everybody? Super. Right. Great. Good. So welcome to Nanaska. So today we are going to take a quick brief start onto the SEMA operational level case study, or in other words, the SEMA OCS. Right. So I will take you through an introductory session today, and we will be officially kicking off our classes by Sunday. Right. So I will take you through on what OCS is about, the organization or the pre-scene that we have this time around that we've got to analyze and try to have that knowledge, have that information, practice on all of that. So plus the work plan we have in store for you, what we will do in class, what is expected from you, and what are the critical success factors for you to pass this exam, right? What is the composition of this exam? So we'll be covering all of that quite briefly today, and we'll be starting our classes, right, where we officially discuss the pre-scene, analyze it, practice, where you get access to our LMS, access to our Nanaska Edge, to all of that. So that will be kicking off by Sunday. So today will be a quick introductory session on what OCS is about and what we do at Nanaska in the OCS program. So by the way, I'm Mark. So I'll be your lead lecturer for the OCS session. At the same time, I will have a few others alongside with me who will be assisting you, who will be teaching you right throughout. So of course, our lead lecturer for the rest of the case studies, Mr. Chandagunawardhan, is there. Then we have Ali, we have Osmond, who will also be assisting in terms of the refresh theories. They'll take a few sessions for you to refresh your theory knowledge to whatnot. So we have 4 of us on the panel, and we'll be taking you through the OCS sessions, right? So we have a good 6 to 7 weeks, for that matter, for us to prepare for the examination, right? So when are your exams? Have you all thought about it? Have you all identified, marked down the dates for your exams? Anybody? When are you facing your exams? Yes, first week of May. So your exams will start on the 6th of May, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 6th of May. So how long do you have? You have about 6 to 7 weeks at most, right, for you to prepare for the examination. So that's not a Herculean task, but it depends on how you approach it. It depends on the work you do, the quality of the work you do, not just the content, but the quality of the work you do. Now, which is why we have structured the program in a manner that will make life easy for you. Of course, it will be a little bit, we'll make it a little bit difficult for you. We'll be keep pushing you to get things done. We'll have timelines, we'll have deadlines, then we'll have weekly to-do lists that you've got to work on your own. So it's a very interactive, it's a very a game plan that will have both parties seriously involved, right? Mind you the term, both parties will be seriously involved in this journey. If not, we are going to make it, if not, it's going to not going to reflect good on us, right? So we want you to pass. We'll somehow make you pass. You need to also have that commitment, have that dedication, have that cooperation from your end, so that you are able to really gain the benefits. You are really able to understand that, there is something that's in it for you, and you've got to grab that up, right? So apart from the lecturing team, the co-lecturing team, you will also be you'll be assigned into groups, right, where the tasks will be followed up, where your mock exams, where your mock papers will be followed up. And at the same time, you will also get a few one-to-one sessions in order to improve yourself. So it will be a personal improvement plan, right? So it will not be a general thing. Of course, general things we address in class, right? But this will be a personal improvement plan where you will be assigned with a specific supervisor who will be coaching you. You have the option to ask them question. Sorry, you have the option to question them, clarify your doubts, and make sure this is a journey of continuous improvement. This is a journey of continuous improvement. Now remember, this is going to be the very first case study you are facing in your SEMA journey. Right? This is going to be the very first case study you are facing in your SEMA journey. So we have a few basic things to set up before we really understand what this is about, before we really go and attempt mock papers, or before we try to uh, really start work on the pre-scene, right? So you've got to have some basics in terms of, so I will highlight the critical success factors separately. There is a separate slide for that, right? But just to give you a general overview in terms of preparation, right? So now, at operational level, you will have 3 subjects, right? So your E1, P1 and F1, right? So you've got to refresh them now, right? If you are, I'm sure majority of you would be from the FLP pathway. So in your FLP pathway, you have specific modules to attempt for each subject, right? So don't do it for the sake of doing it. Don't do it just because you have to finish the module and get rid of it and go to the next. No, it has to be done with proper purpose, right? It has to be done with a proper plan and understanding in mind, so that it will equip you, it will give you that basic knowledge required for the case study when it comes to application of the theory you have learned in your E1, F1, P1. Now, somebody or anybody coming from another pathway might wonder, now what's going to happen to us? We have done our exams some time back or something like that. So don't worry, we have covered you. You will get a few refresh theory sessions done by our theory experts. So Ali will take over P1. Osman will be teaching you F1 and P1. Sorry, F1 and E1. Right? So we have 2 lecturers to take care only of that refresh theory part. So don't worry, you are covered. Right? If you have any doubts, first thing is that you have to attend the session. Right? Any doubts, any clarifications, then and there you can clarify. Right? Or else, as I told you, you will be assigned into groups. You're always free to ask questions. There will be a support team behind you to assist you and for you to answer those questions. Remember that. Right? So, as I said, when it comes to your first case study in your SEMA journey, so knowing your theory would be a critical element. So you've got to refresh it. Then, of course, I'm sure at this age, I don't even have to tell this. Almost all of you are on devices 24/7. Your typing speed also matters. So get some hands-on experience on your typing skills. Your words per minute, how much words you can type per minute, try and improve it. Right? And then, of course, you need to know what you are, what the organization is. Right? What the organization is. That is your pre-scene. Based on the pre-scene only, the examiner will ask you questions. So therefore, thorough knowledge of the pre-scene is very important. So make sure you focus on these 3 elements a little bit more, right? From day one itself, from the start itself, from the introductory session itself. That will give you some confidence in bracing yourself to face the challenges that might come your way, the difficulties that might come your way. Of course, there'll be questions, there'll be challenges, there'll be difficulties. As I told you, this will be the very first case study you're attempting. So which is why we are there for you. We have a separate backend team to help you out in your respective individual groups. So likewise, you are surrounded by a set of resources and a set of people who are willing to support you. So make maximum use of it. But you also need to know how do you effectively use it, because nobody can clap with one hand, right? So you need to bring in your support, your cooperation. So that's when it will be a smooth journey for all of us. So let me take you through what we cover at Nanaska in the operational case study program. What are we going to cover? So I have a question. I was exempted certificate level and I'm doing P1 now. Then OCS is a materially enough for me to sit for the exam. Of course, yes. So are you from the FLP pathway or the normal pathway? Whatever the pathway is, your P1 content you will be covered, right? You will have F1, P1 also. So don't make that a problem. As I told you, anybody who has done the respective subjects earlier, you don't have to panic, you don't have to worry. As I told you, we've got you covered. Right? So in terms of the course outline, yeah, if it's normal pathway, Francisco, you are very much better placed because you'll be having all the knowledge, right? You'll be facing the exam for the 3 subjects and then attempting it. So that's not a problem. But make sure you complete all your 3 exams before the deadline for you to be eligible to sit for OCS, right? Just take note of that point. Knowledge wise, there will be no gap. Don't worry. So we'll take you through. Excuse me. Okay, you were exempted. Not a problem. So we have some refresh theory courses for you. So if you can follow them, I think you will be getting that. You will be able to refresh your knowledge on those 2 areas as well. There'll be separate resources like lectures, recordings available. Then you will get materials for refresh series. So if you can follow all of that, I don't see that as a major problem. Don't worry, right? So we'll be taking you through the know your pre-scene is basically a quick snapshot of the pre-scene document, right? It's visualized so that it's easy for you to remember. Right? So if I give you a snapshot of what I'm saying, this you might be wondering, okay, what is this KYP? You're just telling us it's a know your pre-scene. So I'll just give you a quick glance at it, right? So this is our know your pre-scene. Now, can somebody tell me what is the name of the organization we have this time around? And what industry is it in? Your pre-scene, right? The pre-scene issued to you by SEMA, right? I mean, your exam will be based on that. So what is the name of the organization in the pre-scene document? What is the industry we will be what is the industry we will be working on? Restaurants. Very good. What is the name of the company? What's the name of the company? SOPA. Very good. So our organization is SOPA. So as you can see here, so our company name is SOPA Restaurants. So we are a restaurant, right? So we learn about it, right? I'm sure most of you will be interested on food to learn about food, right? So it's something new to me as well. So let's learn about it. See what are the dynamics of the industry, right? How they operate, what more can they do, what are their expansion plans, right? So your role in the organization. So now this is the know your pre-scene document. I told you it's in a nutshell for you to, with visuals for you to refer. So you are a finance officer. So these are the things that you will be doing: management accounting, decision making, financial reporting, year-end preparation, complex financial queries. Now this is your job, right? So we will be breaking down each of these job roles into the subject. If it's management accounting, okay, what part of P1? Can it be budgeting? Can it be costing? Can it be short-term decision making? Right? Decision making. There could be limiting factors that will affect your production. How are you going to make optimal use of resources? You don't have enough resources in-house, you want to outsource. What is your decision on that? Financial reporting, you have a few accounting standards based on that, right? So we are going to break this down and understand what are areas that you've got to be competent on, right, by subject, so that it's easy for you to note down and make sure you make yourselves comfortable and confident on that, right? So then you will have. So this is basically what we will cover in the KYP. It will give you the background, the industry, the website, the menu, the key management teams, financial statement highlights. So it's a very comprehensive document. So it has broken down your entire pre-scene document into a set of visualized uh, pages, so that it's easy for you to go through and remember. So that it's easy for you to go through and remember, right? So I will be also sharing now the SEMA pre-scene document issued for OCS this time around, right? So let me share that on the chat box for everybody to download. So meanwhile, let me attend to a question, something I saw. I just started studying and I'm a non-finance professional, still studying F1. Do you think it's practical for me to try the ME exam? So Purnima, are you from the FLP route? If you are from the FLP route, yes, you can attempt, right? Because you will have access to the P1, E1, F1 modules where you will be learning things. What it is about. So you would have had a few lecture sessions on those three subjects. You do your module, and then when you come to OCS, you have your refresh theory session. So you have about 3 times where the syllabus where you will be running through the syllabus. So I don't see that as a problem, right? Even just because you're a non-financial professional, don't make that a problem, because SEMA is not about accounting. You don't have to know accounting to do operational case study. It's very practical. You've got to the only catch is that certain technical elements from your, especially from your P1, E1, F1, right, are the areas where you have to be comfortable with. Are the areas you have to be comfortable with. So we will also specify the key areas that will come up for your exam, and you can prepare accordingly, right? So it's preparation that is key. You might have to spend some little extra effort, right, to gauge things around, but after you get the hang of it in about 3+ weeks, I think it should not be a problem, right? So it all depends on how much you are willing to invest on this. Of course, you might have to spend some extra time, some extra effort. Are you willing for it? If so, yes, of course, you need to give it a shot, right? So let me attach the pre-scene document. Yes, it is given already, and I have shared it on the chat box for anybody to download. So that's the organization that we will be having this time around, which we will be analyzing, which we will be discussing in class. So quite interesting, as I have been showing you so far. So it's a family-based business owned by the husband and the wife, right? As you can see, these are the two owners, Paolo and Sofia. So the first two letters of the two names have been branded to the business. And then we have their background. Then we have where it started. Then we have the vision. Then we have the growth of the business, how it has operated so far, and its anticipated growth strategy. Then we have the financials, key financials, the ratios, the numbers. And then we have a quick overview of the company, the workforce, the key characteristics. As you know, it's a family run owned business owned by the husband and the wife. Then we take a look at the restaurant industry. So likewise, we give you a lot of competitive information on the pre-scene. It's a very summarized document. I mean, good for your brain also, because when you most of you, when you see these visuals, it sticks more in your mind rather than you reading through an entire document. Rather than you reading through an entire document. Right? So that's the nature, that's the context of the know your pre-scene document. That's the nature and the context of the pre-scene document. So you can see the reasons for us to fail, what are the challenges, the slow growth. Then you will have yes, the challenges detailed out, implications for SOPA when you look at the industry level challenges, how will it impact you, the future opportunities for growth, right? Then in terms of tech, in terms of customer experience, in terms of pricing, people, diversification, then in terms of being competitive, then what does the website say, what are the products we sell, right? So all of that, it's very detailed, but it gives you a snapshot of all the content on your entire pre-scene document. So now I have uploaded the pre-scene document for you, which you can download and read, start reading it, right? So that's about a 35-page document. So we have summarized that content into a small set of slides, so that you are able to refer to it constantly and familiarize yourself with the pre-scene. As I told you at the start, knowing your pre-scene, knowing the organization that you are analyzing on, right, is very critical when it comes to excuse me, when it comes to immersing yourself in this industry. Now for these 6 to 7 weeks, it has to always be about food. When you jump into a restaurant to eat, you need to look at things. Okay, what is happening around? How are they serving? How do the what are the wow factors you see in those restaurants, right? What are the wow factors you see in those restaurants? So try and recommend them, apply them to the context of SOPA, see what we could do differently. Of course, so we being a depending on where you are located. Now this is a European this chain is in a European country, so standards must be very well higher, very well maintained. So but still you can observe little things that you feel like, uh, because this 6 to 7 weeks, as I told you, it has to always be about restaurants. It has to always be about food, right? It has to always be about trying to, go through these social media sites of similar restaurants, right? What are the content they are pushing through? What sort of promotions they are doing? What is the customer engagement they are facilitating through such platforms, right? How are they servicing the customers? What are the customer reviews and feedback? So all these are very important. All these are very important. So these 6 to 7 weeks, I wanted to spend a little bit more time on this restaurant industry, learn about it, because this is not something distant from you. Now, if you look at last time around, last 2 sessions, we had industry on skiing, right? So I myself have never done it, right? Neither have seen it live, just a few videos, right? So that's quite distant from us. But this time around, the industry is very close to us. I'm sure everybody of you would be dining in a restaurant at least once a week. At least once a week. I mean, I'm sure you would be doing more than that, right? But at least once a week, you will be in a restaurant somewhere, somewhere down the line, right? So therefore, observe, see what is happening around, right? So that you are able to get those practical ideas, practical concepts, practical recommendations that will drive change, that will drive improvement within SOPA, that will drive change and improvements within SOPA. So that's something that you can start working on personally, so that by all means you're ready for it. By all means you're ready for it. So this is a snapshot, a glimpse of the KYP that we will give you. A glimpse of the KYP that we will give you, right? So continuing from where we were. Then number 2 is know your industry. A similar document, but this time around we will be touching more on the industry. This time around we will be touching more on the industry. Now, as I told you, the restaurant industry, it's very dynamic, it's very competitive, right? It's very dynamic, it's very competitive. So we've got to know those dynamics, right? We've got to know those challenges. We've got to know the outlook of it. Where is the industry heading? What are the new trends? Application of technology, application of Gen AI tools in the industry. So that's what we will be going around in the Know Your Industry. So giving you a little bit of a familiarization on what's happening around in the practical context. At the same time, we will be taking a real world company that is very similar to us. I mean, if you are familiar, there is this Nando's chain, right? Few chains, right, that are globally available, very similar to that of SOPA. very similar to that of SOPA. So we'll be taking a real world company and giving you some information. So it's your duty to go to their websites, do some research, go to their social media platforms, see what is happening around, right? So that's your part. That's the research that you have to do. So start today. Take a look at a few restaurants, right? And now you have enough and more resources. I'm sure you guys are the best users of Gen AI tools. So make maximum use of it for the benefit of it, right? So start work now. So those groundwork, the homework is up to you. So, to read the pre-C, now I have shared it with you. To do some research on real world companies that are very similar to SOPA, right? To go to their social media sites to see what sort of content they are pushing through, how are the customers interacting with them, do they have a website, if so, what are the features of the website, what are the functions of the website, right? Do they have personal meal planners or personal chatbots that are recommending dishes to people? So all these are things that you have to be now worried about, right? These are things that you have to be worried about now. Of course, I know you everybody will be having 101 other things to be worried about these days, right? But still, since we are case study focused, this should be the number one priority in terms of the problems that you should be having. You should always be having that inquisitive mind within yourself, right? So that you develop that thinking on your own when it comes to, when you get a little bit more closer to this industry. So that's the purpose. That's the purpose of it. So we give you a power mock and a financial mock related to our F1 subject. Then reality mocks in exam engine. So we give you the same exam environment. We call that the Nanaska exam engine, where you will be getting access to mock exams. Now, what is a mock exam? A mock exam is something very similar to what you face on your final exam. Same structure, same timing, same content, right? It's just that the scenarios only would be different. So we give you about 7 mock papers in the normal exam engine where you can attempt. Plus, you will have a few mock papers that you can attempt in our AI-based Nanaska Edge platform. Right? That will give you instant results, instant feedback, instant personal improvement plan. Give you highlight the areas where you need more attention, more focus on. Highlight things that you have to be doing to minimize errors going forward. So it will give you a detailed personal improvement plan. So they are in that engine. So this time around, we are planning to give you about 3 to 4 mocks there also. So total will be covering about a good amount of 10 mock papers. You will be covered from the normal exam engine plus the Nanaska Edge, where you will get access to expert AI assistance. So remember, it's not just generic AI platforms that have been linked to it. No, it's proprietary AI software that we have worked around. We have given it a lot of algorithms. We've given it a lot of fed it with so many amount of information, scenarios to whatnot, to make sure it's 100% tailor-made to our pre-C. Basically 100% tailor-made to SOFA, right? So make maximum use of those resources. So that's about mock exams, because practice makes you perfect. Practice gives you that confidence. Practice enables you to identify the errors, identify the weaknesses that you are having, right? And at the same time, practice will make sure that you stick to your timing, that you manage your time properly. So for all these things to happen effectively and concurrently, make sure you practice your mock papers. Make sure you practice your mock papers. Then, of course, the deep dive. Now, deep dive is an in-detail analysis of the pre-C. Now, that's what we will be starting off with. So I will be discussing the pre-scene analysis in class by taking the pre-scene document, and we'll be going page by page. What is happening here? What are the options? What are the scenarios examiner could build around these? What are the relevant theory areas that you've got to know that might have a connection to the content on the pre-scene? Now that's deep dive. That's the pre-scene analysis that we will be starting that from Sunday onwards. We will be starting the pre-scene analysis from Sunday onwards, right? So no doubt there. That's going to be the most comprehensive document you're going to get. So the analysis I do in class is pretty much it's in a documented format in your deep dive with reference to respective theory areas that you have to pay more attention, pay more focus on, right? Then comes your most important part, refresh theory. Now, refresh theory, there'll be about 5 to 6 sessions on theory alone. Some of you had questions. Okay, I'm from FLP, I'm from normal, I got exempted. How am I going to tackle this? Don't worry, we have got you covered. So we have our experts in E1, F1, P1 doing the few refresh theory sessions for you. So they will by Sunday, once you register, you will get access to a timetable, a course plan with the dates, with the times, with the lecturer and everything, where we will be conducting the sessions, right? So 90% of it will be online, and we have planned about 3 to 4 hybrid sessions. So anybody in and around, you are free to visit our institute. I will also be there at the institute, and it will be streamed online as well. So it will be a hybrid session where we will be having a little bit of a more one-to-one touch there, right? Refreshing theory from OCS, of course. So that's more than enough, because you're already coming to OCS with at least some form of a foundation in you, right? Either you have exempted by having done another course, or either you have come through the normal pathway, or either you have come through the FLP program. Which way or the other, you have some form of touch with regards to these subjects. So you have nothing to worry. So what we do is we basically take the key areas and refresh those areas to you. Look here, this is how it is. This is what this theory is about. So anything beyond that, if you want a little bit more detail in your homework, that's why I always say it's always a game plan that has to be involved both parties. So that's when you need to have some a little bit of a more hard work, right, to do some extra research and knowledge gathering on those areas right? Then we have an industry session, of course, the KYI analysis, and we'll try to get down create an industry based discussion. Then of course you will have a one-to-one discussion session, as I told you, the personal improvement plan. So based on the mock exams you do, you will be getting allocated to a person who will assist you with a one-to-one session. So that's where you can all throw your doubts, questions, clarifications that you may have with regards to your performance, with regards to your stance, where you are in terms of the OCS, right? It could be the difficulties you're facing, it could be the challenges you're facing. You can always talk to the person. He will give you feedback on your mock answers. How have you written them? What should you improve more? What are the changes that we would love to see in your answers? So now take those points as points of improvement, and you can attempt the next mock paper, right? So as I told you, it has to be a continuous improvement exercise, continuous improvement game. Now, for that continuous improvement to happen, we are allocating the resources to you without fail. Be it exam engine, be it mock papers, be it Nanaska Edge, be it refresh theory, be it one-to-one sessions. So don't worry, you are covered in all those aspects. So as long as if you can attend all the sessions, attend the mock papers on a timely basis, refresh your theory, right, and have that pre-seen knowledge and keep up to date with the session, with the lectures, don't worry, you're on the right track, right? Of course, there has to be that commitment from your end, right? Good. So then we'll have some possible issues, revisions, and one more point to add here. The most important thing will be the Nanaska Edge, right, where you get access to the AI based platform through which you can always question. You can always question AI based the Nanaska Edge also, right? Don't worry, that's also trained on the pre-seen knowledge, and it will assist you with a lot of helpful tips, answers, and clarifications as well, right? So that's something complimentary we offer you along with the normal LMS, normal exam engine access, the Nanaska Edge, right? So now I've been Short time to complete competencies. Don't think we can gain any knowledge since we'll have to rush through it. Hope that won't be a matter. Of course, it's a yes and a no. Uh, I would say rather than rushing through, you got to, I mean, by rushing, what do you mean? So you need to at least, I mean, get some form of a knowledge to you, right? Rather than, just guessing the answers. If it's wrong, come back and select the next answer. No, that is totally ineffective. Forget about it, right? You have to glance through the content, see what is there, take the learnings, and then try to complete it on at a faster pace, right? That's what I mean, right? But if you say that rushing is, just assuming answers, just guessing things and then coming back, you pick the other answer since you picked the previous answer at the previous attempt and it was wrong and doing it. So that's forget about it. That's not effective at all, right? So make sure that uh, it is properly followed, right? Of course, I know with timing you might not have that 100% focus and attention that you want to give it, but make the maximum productive use of it. Make maximum productive use of it, right? Good. So now I've been talking for about 40 minutes. Now I want you to talk, right? So any questions, any clarifications up to this point? Now I've taken you through the course, what we do at Nanaska, what is expected from you uh, as you get ready to sit for your first case study examination, right? So what are the questions and queries that you have regarding the course? So I will show you a snapshot of the KYI as well. So this will be certain key content that will be there in the KYI: the market size, the industry structure, competitive dynamics, and analysis of the supply chain, how you measure your websites, AI in marketing, sustainability, challengers, key players in the market. So this will be a snapshot of the content you will get in your KYI, in your know your industry, right? So comprehensively, so we've looked at what is going to be the KYP, what is going to be the KYI. At the same time, now you know what we will cover in class for you as well. So, of course, we have Mr. Chandra here online, as I told you at the start. So, he will be joining in for a quick set of words. So, we will come back to the Q&A after Chandra sir's session. Yeah? So, over to you. We can't hear you. I don't know whether the students can. I can't hear. Can the others hear? No. So there's a problem with audio, I guess. Can the others hear Mr. Channa, or is the same with everybody? I think, sir, if you can. Yeah, so that's what I have. So we'll give about 2 minutes for that. Yeah, so meanwhile, you can ask your questions. Yeah, don't worry. All the sessions will be recorded and you can have access to them anytime. Calculators, no harm in taking it. It's allowed. But it's very rare that you get the calculation, so don't worry about it. Most of the time, examiner will give you the calculation and he will ask you to interpret. He will ask you to comment. He will ask you to recommend. Right? So don't worry about calculators. And a few questions again, the previous which I missed. Are we getting to any calculations? Not really. Very minimal. But there could be a 5 to 10% chance, but very minimal. Even the 5 to 10% chance, it's not detailed calculation. Could be a very simple calculation. Right? So don't worry about that. Right. Others, what are the other questions? Pre-seen document, yeah, it's there. I already shared it on the chat box. You can share it. It's there in the shared files segment. You can find the pre-seen document. Yeah, you can get it from that. Don't it's publicly available in the SEMA site, right? So don't worry. Sir, still we are not audible. You are not audible. Others, can you confirm whether it's audible or not? Right. So we have a few questions. So till yeah, we can hear you now. Yes.
Finally, finally. So hi guys. Please confirm in the chat box that you can see me and hear me. Mark, you can also confirm whether you can hear me and see me. Mark, can you hear me and see me? Okay. Okay. Very good. Finally, we are done, right? So hi guys. I'm going to take only 5 minutes from you all. Nothing much. Just 5 minutes from you all. So basically, I'm happy that you have decided to go ahead in the journey of SEMA. Operational level case study is the step number one. Mr. Mark is starting the sessions from next week. Today is only an introductory session. I want your full commitment for the operational level case study May 2026 sessions. Simply because it's an important journey that you decided to go. At Nanaska, we want to ensure we support you 100%. Trust me, when I say 100%, we mean it. You come up with a topic and say, okay, I don't understand this topic well, we will do an extra class for you. Even if it is one of you all who wants it. You want more mock papers, we will certainly give it to you. You want any additional support, we are here to give it to you. We are absolutely flexible to ensure you get what you want. Absolutely flexible to ensure you get what you want. We are desperate to ensure you pass the case study, operational level case study, in May 2026 without any troubles. Our job is to ensure we support you to do that. Nanaska's overall purpose is to build better leaders for the world, which means our purpose is going beyond passing. Our purpose will go beyond passing you all the management level case study, strategic level case study, operational level case study. We want to ensure you all be better leaders for the real world, real businesses. That is why we do many free programs after your exams. That is why we have a system where you will be connected to the jobs available that is called Nanaska Connect. That is why we have a very special service whenever you have a struggle at office, whenever your boss has given you a difficult task, we get involved and help you personally. Because we believe passing CMA exams is not only our objective is to ensure to build a leader for the future. So we are here to help you unlimited. But that is a broader view. The job in hand is the operational level case study. Mr. Mark had been producing superb results in the past. I am sure he is ready to do the same thing now. Mr. Osman will come and do some lectures for you. I am around whenever you want it. Even though I teach MCS and SCS mostly, I am around for the OCS students to contact me. My job is to ensure you get what you want. So we are absolutely committed to ensure that you pass the OCS exams this time. I want you to start working with us. Please write down my mobile number. I'm sure your WhatsApp group that we are going to create when you join will include my name and my mobile number. My name is Channa Gunawardana. I'm the lead lecturer for Nanaska. I'm the executive director for Danko Posile and I'm the chairman for Litrogas. I am on the SEMA Global Council in UK. Therefore, I'm aware what the journey that SEMA is taking you. There's a syllabus change for OCS for the May exams. There's a syllabus change for the OCS for May exams. We are fully updated about it and we are ready to ensure you pass the exams. So I just want to take 5 minutes to tell you, make a commitment from our side. We'll take care of you and you have my mobile number to call us at any time and to tell you whether anything is missing. My number goes as 0094 777 398 996 0094 777 398 996. Please send me a message if you are registering now so I can save your number, I can save where you work, so I can be in touch and help you. So we are fully committed to ensure you pass OCS, ensure you be a great leader for the real global business world, and we are here to help you that journey. I will certainly come in after the second class. I will take some classes for the OCS this time as well, just to give additional support for Mr. Mark. But Mr. Mark had been producing amazing results. I want you to join us and enjoy that. However, there's a job that you need to do. You will not just pass the case study paper OCS. You need to commit yourself maybe 1 hour a day for at least for 3 days a week, and we expect you to do a little bit more work during the weekend. While we agree, we will do our best, and we want you to commit your time for the job as well. So, guys, I'm wishing you all the very best in the journey, and we are here to help you in the entire SEMA journey from OCS to MCS to SCS to membership and to be successful in the real world. Take care. You can send me a WhatsApp message so I can save your numbers. Mark, I will leave you around with that, right? Bye, Mark.
Yeah, okay. Right, guys. So we'll continue from where we left off. So yeah, so I was answering your questions. We've discussed what we do. Oh, yeah. Did I miss anything? Yes. Can you explain the structure of the exam? Yes. So your exam will be broken down into 4 sections, right? It will be a 3-hour examination. You have about the first 15 minutes, you have a quick demo of the exam environment. Then you have 4 sections. 4 sections means each section you get about 45 minutes of time, right? Each section you get 45 minutes of time. And remember, your exam will be one-way traffic. What do I mean when I say one-way traffic? You do section 1, you go to section 2, no reverse, you can't come back to section 1, section 1 is gone, right? At the same time, let's say your section 1 is 45 minutes, you complete in 40 minutes. You're not going to carry forward that 5 minutes to section 2. Section 2 will again start from 0 to 45. You got my point? So it's each section is timed accordingly so that you cannot take forward any of the saved time. It will be just a one-way traffic. It will be just a one-way traffic. So 4 sections, meaning each section you might have about a minimum of 2 questions or a maximum of 4 questions. So each question will be weighted 20%, 80%, 50%, 50%, 60%, 40%, 30%, 40%, 30%. Likewise, it will be weighted. So we will learn in class. When we answer mock papers, we will learn how much of weight should we give, how much of points should we write, how are we going to make use of that 45 minutes to answer the particular section. We are going to learn all of that, don't worry. So it will be 4 sections, 3 hours, one-way traffic exam for you, right? So that's the structure of the examination. So going down, how many questions? Yes, 4 sections, each section a minimum of 2, maximum of 4, time is 3. Sundays, OCS, so it's scheduled like this. Normal, your classes will be 6:30 to 9 or 6:30 to 8:30. The hybrid sessions are where you can come to the institute. We will have some face-to-face sessions, one-to-one sessions, improvement sessions when you come physically to the class, right? So there'll be separate physical one-to-one sessions also towards the latter part before your exam. But before that, the hybrid classes, you can come for the institute, no harm. We will be facilitating that, right? Otherwise, if it's not hybrid, it will be 100% online, right? Super. What else? Any other questions? Yeah, so I have a sample question. I'll show that how your exam will look like. Yes. When we give you the session plan, it will be the hybrid sessions will be marked separately, right? So don't worry about that. That will be informed prior to you. Yeah, I'll send Chandra's number. Three 8996. So this is Channa and this is mine. You can WhatsApp on these numbers. So I've shared both of our contact numbers for your reference, right? Then exam scenario, yes. So your exam scenario will be, so this is a sample exam question that I have taken. Right, it will be something like this. Very practical. Either you get an email from your boss or your boss comes to your workstation and tells you certain things that you have to do. Right? So it's going to be very practical. So at the same time, we will be giving you a free document, right? So it will be uploaded very soon on our social media platforms where you can download it. So I'll take you through that. So that will also have a free mock paper for you for reference. And so we have prepared a quick pre-scene guide for you. A quick pre-scene guide so that you can refer it. So this is the content around it. So this will be, don't worry, everybody will have access to this document irrespective of who you are. We give you access to this document. Most probably by tonight it should be available for reference on our, you can download it from our so you can, if you can follow the Facebook and the Instagram pages of Nanaska, it will be loaded there. right? So it talks about the pre-scene, the business model, then it talks about the industry and the operating environment, then our operating model, then it gives us about talks to us about the customer positioning, the financials behind the numbers, behind the pre-scene. Then there'll be the key operational insights, what you should be looking out for, then some reminders, then the likely growth options, what are the growth strategies we are looking at in the future. Then it will talk about most likely exam themes to whatnot, right? Few tips for you. And also it will have a sample mock paper, right, with 4 sections, as you can see, right? Section 1, then you have the reference materials for section 1, then you go to section 2, right? Then you have the reference materials for section 2, then you have section 3, reference materials, section 4. So likewise you will be having all the detailed a detailed sample mock exam paper for your reference, for you to go through it, and your exam timing and answer construction. We have given you some tips as well. So don't worry, this is a free document, everybody will get, right? So you can download it as soon as it's loaded to our social media platforms, right? So this is an open document for everybody, prepared by us, so that you get some basic information, basic knowledge about things related to the case study, so that you familiarize yourself as you start the course. So you have some background information with you, you have done some foundation work with you, so that you are ready to face this exam, right? So exam scenarios will be, I gave you the format, right? Then apart from this, yes, all other materials, once you register, you get access to our LMS. All the other documents from lecture recordings to whatnot will be loaded to the LMS. That's for sure. That's for sure, right? All the documents, all the resources will be available to you through the LMS. So once you register, you get access to it, and all the documents will be there. Don't worry about that, right? Good. So going back to where we were, so now I have shown you a sample paper as well, how you would be tested in the examination. So then let me take you through a quick overview on the case study, right? The critical success factors and a quick overview. Yeah, so Samir, I'm coming to your question, right? So in terms of the overview, so remember in OCS about 65% is coming from where? From your knowledge on E1, F1, P1. 35% from your practical applications, the recommendations, the business knowledge, the business acumen, all of that comes from that. How you apply it into the business context. And now out of that 65% of theory, you can see a majority is coming from where? About a 55% is coming from your P1. Second important, F1, and then E1. So I would say P1, yes, we have seen a lot of questions coming down from P1 in the past, but equal weightage to F1 and E1 as well, right? So majority of it, yes, we can say it's from P1. So this is a very basic, if you ask me how I derived at this number, so there is no hard and fast rule for that. It's purely based on how SEMA has tested you in the past from OCS, right? So majority of it for OCS, we need the E1, F1, P1 knowledge. And then if I break that down further, it will be the P1, F1 and E1 in order of importance, right? So majority of the questions, remember, in terms of that 65% theory will be thrown at you from P1 related areas, then from F1 and then from E1 accordingly, right? So this is very important for you to know beforehand. This is something very important for you to know beforehand, right? The structure and the areas that you need to pay a little bit more attention on. Now, along with that, so now you know what the exam would look like, what we do in class, the overview of the exam, from where you will be tested. At the same time, I have outlined a few critical success factors here. So now what is your number one? Refresh your theory. Very important. That knowledge is very important. So as I told you, you don't have to worry. Don't take that as a pain point. We have a solution there for you where we will arrange a few refresh theory sessions so that you are able to quickly revise and refresh your knowledge, your competencies on the respective three subjects. On the respective three subjects. Number two, practice. You should be knowing what sort of questions, what sort of scenarios, what sort of areas, how are certain theories tested. You should be knowing those things. For you to know those things, for you to practice those things, you have to do mock papers. So practicing mock papers is in the top of the most important list, is one of the top critical success factors. We give you timelines. By this week, you have to complete this mock. By this week, mock number 3. Likewise, we give you timelines. Very important that you stick to it. Right? Words per minute. I would recommend a minimum of 35 to 40. Right? Anything above that is perfect. Anything below that is where you have to pay attention. I am sure most of you will not know what your WPM is. Right? So take about 10 minutes, take a newspaper, type it and see where you stand. Right? Because remember, when it comes to case study where you have to think and type, right, it will not be the same pace as you just typing a very stationary document. So you have to keep some provision, some margin for there. Your thought process has to work, your hands have to work, your mind has to work, right? Everything is together. So then higher the better, I would say. Higher the better. Then your pre-scene know-how, right? What is pre-scene know-how? The knowledge you have on SOPA, on the organization, on its operations, on its industry, on its financials, right? On its growth strategy, right? Because as Chandasa mentioned, we have a few changes to the syllabus that we have incorporated this time around. Even in the sample mock paper that we have given you, we have incorporated it. Things such as environmental costing, right? Costs of quality, right? Weight benefit scoring, use of Gen AI. So all those areas, don't worry, we have covered it for you, right? So pre-scene know-how is very important. So how do all these things get together? I mean, whatever you recommend, the practical solutions, applications, recommendations you propose has to be in line with the pre-scene, has to be in line with the organization you are talking about. Possible issues, know your triggers. What are the anticipated scenarios that could come? So we give you two separate documents. Possible issues, know your triggers. Now, what is know your triggers? Know your triggers is we will give you an analysis of what came in the past, broken down by the respective subject and the theory area. So you can go through that and see what are the repeating theory areas that is highly tested. It gives you a good indication. It gives you a good understanding of what are the areas that has been tested in the past so that you can prepare better for your session. So know your triggers is a very important document. It will analyze the past. It will analyze about past 2 sessions, past papers, and give you a feedback. What are the areas where students went wrong? What are the highly tested questions? What are the relevant subjects for this and the relevant theory area to whatnot? So it will give you a detailed analysis. It will give you detailed information on your on what came in the past for your examinations, on what came in the past for the examinations, right? So that's the know your triggers and the possible issues. Grammar errors not a problem as long as the examiner can understand the content, the answer that you're trying to say. So he will not be penalizing you for grammar and spellings. Remember that. But it has to be comprehend. I mean, the comprehension has to matter, right? So it has to be understood by the examiner. If he can understand what you're trying to say, he will not penalize you for grammar and spellings. Know your triggers, yeah, we do already have a standard document for that. We can share it, we can upload it immediately to LMS, not a problem. So that you can get some understanding from there. Very good, yeah. Right? So you can see what are the frequently tested areas, frequently tested questions, right? So it will be there on LMS very soon. I mean, first day itself we'll make sure that it is uploaded. Yeah. So now this is a quick overview on all what we looked at so far, right? So Chandasa also gave you some insights. So at the same time, I have given you the work we do at Nanaska as part of the OCS program. Then I've taken you through the KYP document, the Know Your Pre-Seed. Then I've given you a snapshot of the KYI document, what are the areas that will be covered. Then I've taken you through a sample exam question. Also, you have the free resources guide on SOPA along with a sample mock exam paper, sample exam paper, right? So I believe that you have some information, some additional knowledge that you have got out of this session with regards to your OCS program. Now, anything beyond this, do you have any question? Do you have any clarification? I'll give you about 2 minutes for you to ask any such question, right? So I've been speaking for some time now. So I'll give you about 2 minutes now. So anything beyond whatever we discussed, you feel like you have this doubt to be cleared, you have this question to be asked, this thing to be clarified with regards to what we do at Nanaska or what OCS is about, or some additional help you want, yes, feel free to ask. What are any other questions, doubts, and clarifications that you guys might have? How Nanaska is working and access shows a sample. So you will don't worry. So it's simply another platform. It's simply another system, right? That you will get access to with free with mock papers where you can time it and you can do it, and then you get instant feedback. Then there will be a separate section on asking questions, queries, and doubts if you have on the pre-scene, on the theory knowledge or whatever. So it will be a sort of a LMS, but powered by proprietary AI software, right? So during the first session, let me take you first or second session. I should be able to give you a walkthrough of that. Yeah. Yes. So practicing platform have two. You have the exam engine of Nanaska, where you can attempt mock exams and practice it timed basis. Number two is the Nanaska Edge, where again you have access to mock exams where you can write and get instant feedback. Of course, when you do it in the Nanaska exam engine, uh, it will be directly directed to our marking team. So where they will mark it one by one and get back to you with the feedback plus a one-to-one session, right? Whereas in the Nanaska Edge, you get instant feedback along with a personal improvement plan where you need to be working on your weaknesses, your strengths, what you need to improve on, what are the changes that are needed for you to do in your answer when you answer the next mock. So all of that will be given in your Nanaska Edge result as well, right? So don't worry, practicing platform, yes, you have to, right? You can do, I mean, you get access to both upon registration. So no doubt about that. Super. Thanks for your comment, Sahan. Yes, that's a very good word. This ecosystem. Yeah, so you have the front end lecture panel, then we have our lecture series, then you have a separate WhatsApp group created with a limited number of students for each, where we give you updates, support. Of course, there'll be a common WhatsApp group with everybody in, and then there'll be further subgroups where we will assign one of our support staff members to help you out. Then you do your mocks, we give you one-to-one sessions, we give you feedback. At the same time, you can evaluate your own self on Nanaska Edge, have your own personal improvement plan. You can always question the Nanaska Edge, question your support team, question your one-to-one team, All of that is made possible to you. So we have given you the resources, right? The ecosystem is there for you to make use of it, and how you use it, it depends on, it will drive the result that you wish, right? Because end of the day, I'm sure we want to make you pass, you want to pass this and get rid and move on to the next hurdle, right? So this is your first case study, which is why we have given you all these resources. We are putting in all this effort so that you are able to get the best out of it, right? And you pass the exam, right? Good, good, good. So we will share the study plan with you, right? When the about the class schedule, about the mocks timeline, of course we will discuss in class. There'll be one-to-one feedback sessions, and closer to the exam I will be at Nanaska, where you can also come in. We will have a personal chat on how to improve yourself, what are the changes needed, what can we do more, to what not, right? So all of that is available to you. All of that is available to. So if you feel like, anybody working in and around Colombo, if you feel like you have some time after office, yes, do let me know. We can meet, and we can have a quick feedback session, quick discussion, whatever you call it, at Nanaska, the institute. We can make the institute open and facilitate all of your requests. So we are flexible and open to that, so we are always there to help you out. So if I'm in and around Colombo, of course, yes, anytime I'll be willing to meet you guys around and help you out, right? So I also, so I couldn't I couldn't tell you what I'm doing. So I work for John Keel's Holdings. I'm part of the retail sector. So we handle the national distribution for Samsung brand. I take care of the mobile section. So very interesting work happening around. Lot of challenges. As everybody knows, we have so many global disruptions happening around, right? So not easy to navigate through all of them, but it's just that we've got to be a bit more resilient. We've got to be a bit more careful, conservative, right? Not wasting resources at this point in time, because the future is very much uncertain. Future is very much uncertain, right? So you know what is happening around, so it's very unpredictable, right? So we are doing business in such a environment. At the same time, you are doing your exams in such an environment, right? So we as Sri Lankans, we've never got the chance to rise up, right? So we've been victims across at every stage in life, right? If at all. So but still we've come a long way. So this too shall pass, right? This too shall pass. So just make sure that you build that resilience, and we persist. Yes, that's the right word, right? And meanwhile, you should not be compromising on your self development as well, on your self competencies as well, right? You need to be upskilling yourself, you need to be growing, right? So that's what matters. That's what will take you forward, right? Because education, as always, is one of the most important weapons that will take you forward, that will make you climb that ladder. So don't compromise on that. Whatever the circumstance, whatever the situation, you have taken the right step. Make sure you take the steps forward and keep going till the end. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing, right? So don't worry. There'll be a lot of disturbances around, a lot of turbulences around, right? But still the ship has to navigate, right? There is this famous saying where the smooth waters, the calm waters never made a skilled sailor, right? So you are navigating through a complex, you are navigating through a turbulence, you're navigating through mines, right? So therefore, you've got to build that just make that part of yourself and keep growing, right? So those are the final words I want to leave with you, and I want to see all of you in class. So it's going to be very interactive, very interesting sessions. As I told you, an industry that's very close to you and me, right? I'm sure all of you are lovers of food, right? And as I told you, you might be dining out at least once a week, so observe these little things, right? So That's what makes you. So now these 6 to 7 weeks, immerse yourself in this restaurant, in this food industry, right? That will give you a lot of insights, that will give you a lot of eye-opening facts, sometimes very practical points coming out in the discussion. So I might miss certain things which you might come up with. So we'll have that very productive and effective chat, and we will be starting off our pre-scene analysis on Sunday. So I want to see all of you in class. So before we conclude, can I get some closing remarks? Are we good to go? Is everybody clear on the work plan? Did you all understand on the content which I covered? From the overview, from the course plan, from what we do at Nanaska, and what we offer you at Nanaska? Is everybody clear with it? Is everybody clear with it? Any questions before we wind up? Is everybody clear? Super. Right. Let's get the game going, and I hope to see all of you in class. Right? Great. So when we meet, so we'll have a quick round of introductions and then try to know each other, because this is the best platform for your networking as well. Remember, right? Your first job will be after an interview, but not your second. Right? It has to be through your network of contacts. So this is another place that you can build that up. Right? So trust me, we're going to have a good time together over the next 6 to 7 weeks. I'm going to put you into trouble as well. I'm going to push you a lot as well. So that's part and parcel of the program. You will also enjoy it. And let's keep it going and make things happen. And I want all of you to enjoy the session and pass the exam. Thank you. Good night and God bless you guys. You're welcome.